Welcome, Milo.
Ready?
Yes.
All right. I have been asked to tell you the history of the Chinese Church of Christ that meets on the campus of Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas, in the United States of America, or at least how it got started.
今天我还是受到邀请，继续介绍在哈丁大学的这个中国教会，它是在上帝的引导下一步一步怎么开始的。
Now, this may seem to be of little interest or importance to you, but I want to use it to illustrate how God works in our world today to accomplish his purposes.
可能这个对你来说并不是那么有意思，或者是那么重要对你，但是我想用这个事情来说明上帝怎么在今日他仍然在工作来实现他的目的。
Since they don't see God doing miracles today, some wonder how God can be doing anything.
因为我们今天已经没有那么多神迹奇事，所以说大家都在怀疑上帝是否还在做工。
Previously, I presented a lesson from the Bible showing how during that period of time, God did incredibly powerful things without performing a miracle.
在上一次我给大家介绍的时候，我讲了上帝是如何做了一些不可思议的神迹，并没有通过了这些我们看到的一些东西，就是说他是那么的有威力的一个上帝。
These often involved God moving the heart or stirring up the mind of certain people to do things they otherwise would never have done, resulting in a chain of events that led to the accomplishment of God's purpose.
这里边包括了通过上帝来改变人的心思意念，然后最终实现了上帝他的目的。
So, how did God cause a Chinese church to exist at Harding University?
你怎么样才知道上帝怎么样在哈丁大学存在一个中国的教会？
I believe that God caused a series of events to happen.
我相信有一系列的事情接连的发生。
And if any one of these things had not happened, there would be no Chinese church in Harding.
如果以下的这些事情如果没有发生的话，我想就不会有现在这个中国的教会。
It all began in March of 1996.
所有的一切开始于1996年的3月份。
A stranger walked into the church building where I was preaching in Newberg, Oregon.
有一天，有一个陌生人走进了我在讲道的一个教会，这个教会在 Oregon 的 Newberg。
He had been a linguistics professor in a university in China.
他是在中国的大学里边教语言学的。
So I studied the Bible with him, and he became a Christian.
我跟他一起学习圣经，后来他成为了基督徒。
Then after that, he received a doctor's degree in cross-cultural education.
随后呢，他获得了关于文化交流方面的博士学位。
He asked me to go to China and persuade the president of his university to set up a cross-cultural studies program where he could teach Bible as part of the university's curriculum.
他请求我去中国，并且去中国这个大学里边，让这个校长呢去建立一个交流文化方面的项目。这样的话，他可以在那里教圣经作为一种课程。
Well, I did so.
这样我就去了。
Now, a second major event occurred in the year 2000.
另外一个事情发生在2000年的时候。
I received my doctor's degree, and my wife and I moved to China, where we taught English in a university.
我获得了博士学位，然后我的爱人跟我们一起到中国的大学里边教英语。
Now, having a doctor's degree was important because it enabled me to make connections with important government and education leaders.
有一个博士的学位对我来说非常的重要，它让我能够和中国的政府还有中国的教育部门的领导人能够交朋友。
Now, after teaching 2 years in China, the man that I had met 6 years before told me that I should go to Harding University and set up a Sino-American Studies Institute so I could bring government, education, and business leaders to be trained.
当我在中国学习了2年以后，就6年前我认识的那个人，他建议我应该到哈丁大学，然后建立一个中美文化的研究学院，可以带来许多政府的、教育部门的，还有经济界的一些领导人来哈丁来受训。
When the director of the Provincial Department of Foreign Affairs heard about this, he said that when I got to Harding, he wanted to make Harding one of 4 centers in the United States for training the educators in his province.
当那个省里的那个外事局的领导听到了这个事情以后，他说，我要去哈丁大学的话，他将把哈丁大学作为他们省在4个之一的一个大学，作为一个交流的中心。
Of course, our plan was to send them back to China as Christians.
自然的，我们的目的就是我们的计划就是把他们送回中国，成为基督徒。
So in 2002, I began my work at Harding.
在2002年的时候，我开始在哈丁大学工作。
The following year, our first delegation from China arrived, and the following year, the flow of students from China began.
在下一年，有第一个来自中国的代表团来到了哈丁，并且有一群的学生也随后而来。
With a rare exception, none of the Chinese believed in God when they arrived.
当然了，我们不期望他们来的这些中国人，他们来的时候就信上帝。
But many were curious, and we encouraged them to go to the College Church of Christ within easy walking distance of the campus.
他们非常的好奇，我们就鼓励他们可以来到哈丁大学旁边的这个 College Church， 只有这个1步之遥的距离。
But many had difficulty understanding the sermons because of no knowledge of the Bible, undeveloped English skills, and the sermons were not addressing their unique needs.
但是他们很多人非常有困难来理解圣经， 并且有困难是在英语方面也是不够好，还有这些所有的讲道并不是针对他们来讲的。
To remedy the situation, we started a Sunday morning Bible study where we sang, prayed, and had a Bible lesson designed to address their needs and level of understanding, and where even the girls could raise questions and participate in discussion.
为了改善这种环境的话，我们开始在周日的早上有这种圣经的查经班，我们一起唱歌，一起祷告，并且我们有一个特殊的课程是专门为他们的需要和他们的理解的水平所设计的，并且那些女孩她们可以问问题，甚至参与这些讨论。
Eventually, the numbers grew, and some of the American students were wondering if we could actually form a Chinese church.
当这些人数不断增加的时候，这些美国其中的一些美国学生想象是否我们可以建立一个中国的教会。
We were still encouraging the Chinese to go after the Bible study to the English-speaking college church.
我们始终鼓励这些中国的人，他们可以在这种圣经的学习之后，他们可以去 college church 这个讲英语的这个教会。
But several American Christian students approached the college church, which agreed to handle contributions and provide communion and other supplies to enable the Chinese church to start.
有一些这个美国的基督教学生，他们就告诉 college church 就同意了，他们可以对中国教会有一些支持，并且提供一些帮助和一些像圣餐呀一些来开始这个中国教会。
So, according to my diary, the first meeting of the Chinese Church of Christ began May the 28th, 2006.
根据我的日记中记载，这第一次中国人这个 Church of Christ 中国教会的聚会是在2006年的5月28号。
By August of that year, there were as many as 70 present for our Sunday morning worship, including 50 Chinese, many of whom had already become Christians.
到8月份的时候，这一年的8月份的时候，那里大概有70个人有这个主日的敬拜，包括50个中国人，并且其中的很多的中国人都已经成为了基督徒。
Now, over 15 years later, the Chinese church continues to function on the Harding campus.
现在我们15年过去了，我们现在仍然有这个中国教会，仍然在哈丁的大学里面存在。Thank you very much. But today only you and me in the classroom, and also Dr. Ed is here.
Yes.
Dr. Ed always strongly to support the Chinese church.
Yes.
We also have brother John from Canada, Toronto, and brother sister
Hi,
from.
Milo.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mann.
Thank you. Very good. Very interesting topic.